All right. So my name is, let me see. Someone just left a message. Let me see what that is. Yeah, I don't know who that was. All right, my name is Don D. Jones, and I am the Vice President of Operations at Science. I have with me today, I have with me today Patricia Tripp, whom we affectionately call Patty. Patricia is the manager over the transcription division, and I'll have her introduce herself in just a second. And then also with me from my team is Judy Webb, and Judy is the manager over our quality assurance department. I'm going to ask Patty and Judy if they will introduce themselves to you. So Patty, could you please begin first?
Sure. Hi. Again, my name is Patty Tripp, and I am the transcription manager. I work really closely with the QA department. Judy and I work really closely together, getting the team up on your specs, up on your templates, making sure that everything flows correctly. I'm going to be responsible for making sure that your work is turned around on time. And you have my contact information, so please feel free to reach out to me at any time. I would ask that if you're going to email me, if you would please include Judy on the email as well. We cover for each other, so if one's not around, the other one can make sure that we get your concerns and your issues handled quickly.
Great. And Judy, if you can introduce yourself.
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Judy Webb. I'm the QA manager here at Science, as Dondi said. My team and I will be training Patty's transcriptionists on your account. If there's anything specific you want us to know or anything that we don't already know, please be sure that information is communicated to us. We'll write it up in the account specs, and we'll make sure everyone's trained as you want them to do your work. And again, just as Patty said, if you need to contact me, if you could just send the email to me, Patty and Dondi, that would be wonderful. And I'm happy you guys are on board with us. So welcome aboard.
Great. Thank you, Patty and Judy. And I will send to everyone our contact list so that you'll have the telephone numbers for not just myself, but to the owner of the company and our tech team, just in case. I do want to show you the contracted turnaround time from UHS. For all of your stat reports, the turnaround time for them by contract is 6 hours, and your psych evals have a contracted turnaround time of 6 hours as well. That's 6 hours from the time that you dictate the report. Your progress notes have a turnaround time of 12 hours from the moment that you dictate the report. Within 12 hours, we have to have it back to you. H&Ps are contracted at 24 hours. However, we went ahead and without changing the contract, we changed the turnaround time for your H&Ps to 18 hours. And so from the time that your H&Ps are dictated, we will have them back to you within 18 hours from the moment that they are dictated. And that's well within the 24 hours that the contract states, but we kind of understand that H&Ps can be pretty important to get on the chart. So we went ahead and did that without going through any new negotiations. Your discharge summaries are contracted to be turned around in 48 hours. And then all other work types are contracted to be turned around within 24 hours. Do you have any questions regarding the contracted turnaround time?
When you say contracted turnaround time, that's to a queue where we can sign them?
That's when you can sign it. Yes, sir. Now, Patty and Judy, they have an excellent team. Most of the time, the work is turned around within the 6 hour or 12 hour, whatever is the the contracted turnaround time is ready and available to you before then. But sometimes we get right there on the right on the clock. But within 6 hours of let's say you dictate a PE, a psychiatric evaluation. Well, within 6 hours after you have dictated it, it will be ready for you to electronically sign the report. Do you have any questions?
Nope, I think that's understandable.
Okay, great. So those are turnaround, and so I wanted to make sure I go over that just to make sure everybody understand, how it all works and can feel comfortable with it. The next thing I want to do, and I hope you can see this, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, these are your dictation instructions that I've sent to you, and this is the toll-free number that you will dial in order to do your dictations. And what will happen? And I've sent to, I think I sent to Anita, I sent to someone, Anita or Christy, your ID numbers and everything that you'll be using, as well as your login information. And so as a dictator, you'll dial this number, and then the system will say enter your dictator ID number. So let's say your dictator ID number is 25. Then you'll press the number 25 and hit the pound key. Next, it'll say enter the medical record number, and you'll put in the patient's medical record number and hit the pound key. And then it'll say enter the work type number, and then you can enter the work type number and you hit the pound key. And then your different commands is that if you want to rewind your dictation about 5 seconds, you press the number 3, and that will rewind it. After you've heard the last 5 seconds of your dictation, you would press the number 2 to start recording again, or you can press pound 1, and pound 1 it does the same thing as number 2, except that pound 1 makes sure that you are at the end of the dictation, because sometimes you just don't want to take a chance of recording over what you've already recorded. And so pound 1 takes you all the way to the end of your dictation and starts. Then it'll say begin dictating. But most of the time, just pressing 2 will take care of that. If you want to pause your dictation, you press the number 4, and to unpause it, you press the number 4. If you want to move to the end of your dictation, again, if you went all the way back to the beginning and then you say, okay, all right, this is what I want, and you want to get back to the end of it, you press the number 6. If you want to move to the beginning of your dictation, you press the number 8. Now we have two things that say saving the job. One is the number 5, and with the number 5, it is there so that you can dictate, and then if you have another patient that you want to dictate, you can finish that report and not hang up. And so you'll press the number 5, and then you will receive the job number, and then after you receive the job number, then it will ask you press the number 2 to begin a new dictation. And so you can press the number 2, and then the next thing you hear is enter the medical record number, enter the work type, and then you're ready to start dictating the next patient. And that's what the number 5 is all about. The number 9 does the exact same thing, except for you really cannot start a new dictation. So the number 9 is for saving and disconnecting. That's what it's all about. It's to save and then hang up. So as you press the number 9, you'll hear the job number, and you can hang up if you're all finished. But number 5 is to be used if you want to dictate another report after you've finished one patient. And the reason why that is important is that you don't want to place a lot of patients in one voice file, because what happens is that then only one transcriptionist get that report, And so they've got to go through each and every one of the reports one at a time. And so let's say that the first job that you dictate was a discharge summary, but then you got some other jobs that are psych evals. Well, that discharge summary is not going to go to the MT for 48 hours, but now you have a psych eval tied up in there, and so you want to separate the jobs out, and so you use the number 5. So you press the number 5, you'll get a job number, and then the lady will say press 2 to begin a new dictation. And so then after you press the number 2, you'll enter the medical record number, and then you enter the work type. And so then that will spread the work around so that your work is transcribed by more than one transcriptionist. It's transcribed by the entire group of MTs that are assigned to your account. So 5 is important if you want to dictate a lot of patients in one sitting. Let's say that you have a dictation and you're not ready to submit it so it can be transcribed. You can press the number 0, and that will save your dictation. And so then when you dial in again, the next time you dial in, the lady will say that you have an incomplete report. Do you want to finish it? And then I think it's press 1 to finish it, and press 2 to then you can start a new dictation. And so 0 allows you to have the opportunity to save a dictation but not send it yet, so you can finish it later. Let's say that you want to make a job stat. Once you have you've entered in the medical record number and you've entered the work type, and you hear the lady say begin dictation, press the star key, and the star key will change that report from regular to stat. One important thing is that if you press the number 5 to save it and you need to listen to the job number again, you can press #3, and that will allow you to hear the job number again. The same thing with the number 9. You press #key, #3, you can hear the job number again. All right, and so on your dictation instructions, here's the keypad, and so you can see all these things all over again without having to look at all this. You can see it right here. It's your little edge, so you know what you can do. These are your work type numbers. Your psych evals, the number is a 1. Consults are 2. H&Ps are 3. Progress notes are 4. Physician daily progress note, I spelled that wrong. Daily progress notes is a 5. And then you have your discharge progress note is a 6. Your AIMS examination is a 7. And so then I created what's called a dual e-sign history and physical. A dual e-sign history and physical is used by the nurse practitioners and when they are dictating for another doctor. And so what happens with the dual work types is that whoever dictated, the report will go to that person first to read and sign off. And then when that person signs off the report, then it goes to the person for whom they were dictating. And then that person will have the opportunity to read and sign off the report. Right now, I've only created one dual e-sign report because I don't know what other work types your nurse practitioner staff dictate. But if they dictate,
hey Dondi.
All right.
We have a nurse. She's on the line that that does the discharge summary, so she would have to have one as well.
All right, so I'll
send that all to you. And then my thoughts are, is there maybe we can make, I don't know, laminated or something so that we can hand these out to the providers with their logins and all that other kind of stuff on it. So that way they'll have one at every phone and maybe for their wallet or take home with them or whatever. Is that cool? Do you have such a thing?
Yes, sir. I think we did. I just have to check and see if we still have those, and if we do, I'll let you know. I sure will. So you will need the dual e-sign discharge progress note.
Mainly, we need a dual e-sign discharge progress note and a dual e-sign history and physical, which is the medical one, correct?
our meeting, and the work type number for that would be 9. So I will send you an updated copy of your dictation instructions. But that will be this dual discharge summary will be ready, an hour after we finish our meeting, so they can be used. Again, this goes over what I just spoke about regarding dictating multiple jobs, and I thought that was important. And it also goes over if you save a job, and and that's another thing that I just went over, and so that's on the second page. And we also ask, that is very important, even though once we'll have the ADT information come in, it's still important that the doctor dictate the patient's name and medical record number and the date that they saw the patient. And the reason for that is so that the transcriptionist can confirm that what they are seeing on the screen is correct. So they can, because it's easy to match the wrong number in. And so then another patient's name will show to the transcriptionist. And if you don't dictate the patient's name and the medical record number for that patient, then the transcriptionist can't verify that the right patient is showing up. So it's very important that you do that. Judy and Patty, do you all have anything to add to that part of it?
I'm sorry, I have myself muted. I'm sorry. No.
Okay. All right, good. All right, so that's the dictation instructions. And again, I will I can't show it to you, so I have to create some images. And so the mobile app is called DocuScribe. You can go and you can go to either the Apple Store or the Google Play Store and search for DocuScribe. And you got to put the dashes in there because we also have a CDI product, and it doesn't have the dashes. But type in doc-u-scribe, and then you'll get our just double click on it, obviously, and then it'll bring you to your login screen where you put in your username and then you can type in your password. And once you put in your username, if you'll put a check mark here, you'll never have to put the username in again, but you will have to enter the password. We can't make the password stick because that would not be HIPAA compliant. So once you've typed in your username, your password, you can click on login and it'll bring you to a screen that looks like this. Now, some doctors may have, I don't know, have 2 facilities. And so if you're at more than one facility, you'll see this. And so you can click on that and it'll take you where you can choose the facility that you want to dictate for. But for right now, what you'll see is that for most doctors, what's important is the upload queue is where jobs sit when they are waiting to be uploaded. Sometimes you don't have a good internet connection, and when you don't have a good internet connection, the work can't upload to us. And so it'll sit in this queue until you do have a good internet connection, and then you can upload that work to us. Transcription queue, that's work that has been uploaded to us, but hasn't been transcribed yet. But you can see it, so you can track where your reports are if they haven't been transcribed yet. You also have an e-sign queue, and this is where you would electronically sign off your reports using your mobile app. And then you also have the ability to see your completed reports. And there's a button that's in the mobile app that says completed reports. So you can go to that button and you can type in the patient's medical record number, and everything that you've dictated on that patient, you'll be able to see using your mobile app. To dictate, you just click on this little microphone thing. you'll click here on patient name, and then you'll type in the patient's medical record number, and then the patient's name will show up, and you just double click on that, and then that will fill in for the patient. You'll type in the medical record number, the patient's information will come up, and you select that patient, and then you're ready to go. With the work type, you'll click on work type, and then what will happen is you get a chance to select your work type. Select your work type. If you want to make a job stat, you will click here on this little eye. You'll see that eye there, and so then you can come over and you can click on this thing to make it a stat. And that's how you make it a stat, using your mobile app. And so then you'll have the patient name will show, your work type will show, and then while you're dictating, you can see the template if there's anything in there so that you can make sure that you are dictating everything that needs to be dictated. And so you can scroll up using your hand, as you dictate. And so again, then you'll click on the microphone one more time to begin dictating, and it will start to record what you're dictating. You'll see it moving. If you need to pause it, you just pause it. And then when you're ready to start dictating again, you click on resume. And then when you're all done, you click on stop. And then when you click on stop, you're given options. You can save it as a draft, or you can submit the dictation, and then you can submit and continue. And to submit the dictation, it will go, and then you'll be taken back to your front screen. If you submit and continue, then it'll send it, and then you'll be at the screen where you pick the next patient name and the next work type. So, but both of them do the same thing, and you will get the medical record number. And you can always listen to a report if you so that's pretty much it, what you see. And so you'll get a job number, and you just say, you write down your job number, and you say okay, and you're all done. If you want to e-sign your report, you click on this little thing that says e-sign, and then you'll see the different patient names and everything in it. And so then you click on the first one so you can get to it. And if you're happy with the report when you read it, you just click on e-sign, and that'll sign that report off. And then you'll say okay, and then it'll take you to the next patient, and you can click on that patient name. And if you need to make a change to it, you can click on edit. And when you edit the report, it'll pull up the report so that you can see it. And in my example, I just kind of blew it up, but it's not this big. But you can read it, and you can make a change. You can type in whatever changes you want to make. And then when you've made your changes, you'll just come down to the bottom and click on e-sign, and that will sign off the report. And you'll see this, and then you'll say okay, and it'll bring you right back to the screen so you can do the next patient. And so you do one patient at a time until you are finished. And when you're finished, you just click on this back, this thing right, it's a little back arrow thing. Let me see if I can just point it out real quick. Where's my arrow? This thing right here, that little arrow right there. You just click on that, and that'll do it. That'll take you back to your main screen. And so then you'll see this thing again. And to log out, you just click on this little button right here, and you can log out. Do you have any questions? I know this was a lot,
No question.
and I will be sending all this to Anita so that she can have it.
Send it to Anita and Christy, and then that way both of them will have it. And then the most of my providers dictate from the app. I don't find a lot do it from the phone, but I know sometimes maybe in house may not have good reception. So we'll get cards or something placed everywhere so people can have the instructions and go from there. But you said we're good to go tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You'd be good to go tomorrow. Well, if you use the app, you're good to go today, actually. So if you want to use the app, and the app is a great thing to use because you can do your dictations from the app, and you can sign off the reports using the app. And not only that, but you can see the reports that you've already dictated previously, you can go in and open it up and read what you've already dictated on the patient by going to the completed reports queue. And so you can see all of your work, so you can e-sign. And in the e-sign queue, if you have work to be signed off, it'll be a number there. And if you want to the completer, it'll show how many reports you have in that have already been signed off, so that you can read it. If for your nurses and everything, they will see it, but work won't go into the completed queue so that they can read it again until the doctor that they are dictating for has signed off the report. So they will sign it, and then it'll go to whoever it is that they were dictating for. That person will suddenly see work in their e-sign queue, and then they can sign that work off, and then it'll go into the completed queue for both the NP that dictated and the doctor. So both will have the same documents sitting in their completed queue.
So,
Any questions
Don,
regarding?
this may be more for the transcription foot team, but so they're still going to be able to say dictate strunk normal initial psychiatric exam, except and then add what they want, correct?
Yes, sir. Because this is not front end, so they will say insert my normal blah blah blah, and then dictate anything that is not part of the normal.
Perfect. Okay.
Yes, sir. Am I right about that, Patty and Judy?
Yeah, that's correct. The MT will keep anything that's in the normal already there. If you want to edit something, then you just let them know what you want to edit. Otherwise, it'll be as they pull it in. All you have to do is ask them to pull it in.
Okay. And another thing that the doctors can say is if they've dictated a previous note, they can say pull in the pull in the past medical history from the note that I dictated on blah blah day, and then MT will go grab that information and put it into the new document. So quite a few other things. So that's about it for the doctors. There's not anything else to show to you all. Again, if you want to use the mobile app, you will go to either your iTunes Apple Store or the Google Play Store and make sure you download the DocuScribe app. And I will, when we finish with this meeting, I'll send all these instructions to both Anita and to Christy so that they will have it. And then they can provide it to you if you want it. But you'll find that is pretty fairly intuitive, and so it won't be that hard. One other thing is that so that you'll know, again, sometimes work will sit in the upload queue, or let's say that something really bad happens and the work just isn't there. You don't see it. We didn't get it, and you don't see a number here. Don't worry. The system saves the reports for 7 days right in this queue. And so we have another, so if you go into the queue, you'll see another tab that says recent dictations. So you can click on that tab and then you can upload that work again. So it's not lost, and so you have 7 days. And so obviously you're going to be expecting that report well within 7 days. And so you have time to miss it, realize that it's not there, and then to go ahead and find it and upload it back to us, just in case something bad happened during the upload process. So I don't have anything else for the doctors. Everything else that I will go over will be for the administrative staff. So if any of the doctors want to just jump off, you can, and then I'll deal with the we'll go over things with the administrative staff. And I will send your.
Yeah, Dondi, will you send Christy and Anita whatever you have as far as one-page sheet with this? Hopefully now everybody log in and all the directions and everything. And I'll try to shrink it down and put it in cards or something so that everybody has a quick quick, cheat sheet, for example.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right,
sir. I'll do that.
Yeah, this is Dr. Pfeiffer and Dorinda. We're just coming in now. We got on as soon as you said if the doctors have any other questions. We didn't see anything.
Yeah, we'll send you the they taped it as well, Dr. Pfeiffer. They so essentially it's like a phone that you can hit one for this, hit two for that. What most of my providers are doing, however, is doing the app, which you just type history and physical, you hit the go button and you say put in my normal put in Pfeiffer normal history and physical, except for change this. The other thing he said he can do is if you dictate a note, you can say, copy my note from yesterday, except for amend this, and they'll do that as well.
Okay.
And then kind of the turnaround times is going to be about 6 hours, give or take. Some of them are faster, some of them are a little bit slower, but they're probably going to be 6 hours or less. And then they'll show up on the app where you can easily review and sign them. The ones that somebody else dictates for you, like Brandy, for example, she'll have to review and sign it, then route it to you. So, kind of the ideal scenario is maybe at the end of everybody's day, they go in their app and just sign, and then it's done. And it'll have an electronic signature that you won't have to go to medical records for. It'll have a date, time, and everything. And so we are going to tell them which patient we're doing it for. So, that's sometimes is the kicker. We dictate an IP, initial psychiatric exam, and we don't say who it's for. So you're going to have to say, for this patient, and give them whatever information you can, birth date or medical record number, whatever information you can. But I'm going to put cards together for everybody, and Dondi's taping this, and I'll send it back out to everybody with instructions how to get on. The app is live today. The rest of everything will be live tomorrow.
Yes.
So the app
Correct.
So you can use the app
too. Is that right?
You can use the app to document today. You can use a computer, yes, or you can use like a phone, and I'll make sure you have instructions to all three choices. But yes, if you use a computer, you gotta make sure it has a microphone that can hear you.
Or use a telephone.
No.
Okay,
For
and
the
so
physician ID, is that the same one?
Say it again.
For the physician ID, are those the same ones we had before?
So I believe so,
before.
but I believe so, but I'm getting Christy. I'll get Christy to resend those out to everybody, so everybody has them fresh, because there's a couple people that have added, and so I'll make sure it'll be one sheet of all the instructions and everything.
Okay.
And then I'll send back out the taped version of what Dondi presented today, but it's mainly a kind of a knobology on hit 8 to repeat, hit that kind of stuff. But again, that's why a lot of my folks use the app, because if you want to pause, you just hit pause, and then you go again. So I think it's a little more user friendly than the old timey phone, because I always forgot which button to hit for what or whatever. But of course you can use whichever kind of makes sense to you, because I realize maybe inside the building, maybe reception may not be that great, or to get on the web or what have you. So we'll have all the options, and if everybody brings their computers in, we're going to get those updated, and we're getting a couple of new computers with everything on it too. So once we get HCS up and live, we'll finally be, from an IT standpoint, where I kind of want us to be for now.
You know what, Dr. Williams, I'm glad you said something about that. Let me show you. So from if you have your desktop and you want to e-sign your reports from your desktop, we have this site, and so again, I'll send our site address to Anita and Christy. But all you do is type in docuscribe.com. That's all. You don't have to put in the HTTPS and none of that. You just type in docuscribe.com, and that'll bring you to our site. And so you just click on customer login. And so what I'm going to do is log in as a doctor. And so I'm going to log in as this doctor. And so when you log in as a doctor, what you'll see is you'll see how many reports are sitting out where it says ready. Ready means these are reports that are ready to be transcribed. They haven't been transcribed yet. They're waiting to be transcribed. And then jobs and transcription, these are jobs that someone is working on right now. And then jobs in QA is sometimes work will go to our QA department, and that's what this is. For the most part, you don't have to worry about the audited queue, and you definitely don't have to worry about the facility review. But your work online will sit here where it says jobs and e-sign-off. And so you can click on that, and it'll bring up all of your reports. And so here in this example, this doctor has 38 reports. If she wants to sign off all her reports at one time, now you're going to get it one after the other, one at a time. But she could click here because most of the time you're only going to have at most 10 reports waiting to be signed off. But you can click right here in this button at the top, and it'll check all of your reports so that you can sign off all of each report one at a time. Now I'm not going to do that, but I am going to pick about 3 reports to sign off, just 3 of them. And so let's say that that's all that was there. You'll see here is a little icon. I hope you can see this. Let me blow it up just a little bit. Okay, so you'll see this little icon right here that looks like a pencil. And so you'll click on that. And so then the first report will appear to you. And so if you just want to sign off that report after you read it real quick, you just click on sign off document. And then you'll see this thing, it'll say, it was signed off. Do you want to go to the next one? And you click on next. Excuse me. Now, sometimes you'll see this thing at the top. This is really, really important right here, which is why I wanted to show it to you. You'll see this thing that says facility markers. If you see it, if you can click on it, these are messages to the doctors, letting you know a problem that we had. And it would be a good thing to read it and to know, and then go look at that part of the document so that you can make the necessary correction. And to make a correction, all you do is just go in wherever the correction needs to be made and type it in. And when you're done with that, then you just click on sign off report. So you sign it off, and then it tells you sign that one off, and then click next, and it'll bring you to the next report so that you can read that and sign it off. And so we'll go ahead and sign this report off, and then it'll say it's signed off, and it says open next document, but there is no next. And that means when all you see is cancel, that means that you have signed off everything that you had checked. And so you just click on cancel, and it'll bring you back to the front screen, and you have signed off your report. So when we started, we had 38. Now there's only 35 documents sitting there. Now, in the jobs completed queue, you will see any work that you completed recently. And so in the jobs completed queue, you only see work that you completed in the past 15 days. If you ever want to see longer than 15 days, you click on the little thing that says show search panel, and then you can come here where it says date dictated, and then you can say, I want to see everything I've done last month. Let's just say last month. And then you apply the filter, and then all those jobs will show up so that you can read it. And if you want to read it, another tab. So you can read it, you can print it off, you can do whatever you want to do with the report. And then after you're done, you just close the tab, and then you'll be back at your regular screen. So that's how this works. And so you do have it. Just so that you all know, we have a telemedicine portion. So if you ever want to do telemedicine, you can. We have it built into our website, and just let me know that you're interested in it, and we can do that. We also have a CDI their query. So those are things that are built into the site as well. But for the most part, you're just going to e-sign your reports and read any completed reports that you have. Do you have any questions regarding that?
Mm-mm.
And if you're at more than one facility, you'll click on this little drop down and you'll see the other facilities. And so you'll click on the facility that you want to work with, and then that'll take you to there. And again, I will send out this video of this call, and so that you can read it. I'll also send to Dr. Williams some things that he can print out for you for your dictation instructions, so that you can have that in your hand in a small card. And I'm sure that Christy and Anita will put out dictation instructions in areas where you are at, the regular papers. So you'll have that in your hand. And I will also send to Christy and Anita the instructions that show how to use the mobile app. And also I'll send to them instructions that show how to set up reminders, so that you can set up where you receive a text message twice a day letting you know that you have reports in your e-sign queue if you want that. So you have the ability to do that. Are there any questions?
No, I think we should do it. I think we'll just try to confirm that ID number. I think that Christy would send it to us, but yeah, that should do it.
Okay, great. Again, I'll send it out to Christy and Anita. They will have it today. And if you use the mobile app is ready to go right now. If you want to use the telephones will be ready to go tomorrow.
So, I guess I do have one more question. So our templates are already in the mobile app?
Yes, they are.
All right.
So I do want to show you. So this is kind of important to you, because I don't know if any of you all have seen the templates really. All right, so this is the physician's discharge progress note risk assessment, and this is what it looks like. Now, you don't have to let it look like this. In the system, it is just the MT has a blank document, but the MTs do have what we call, they will go in and they will pull this template in. But if you want something that looks a little bit different back, then we will put that in as a normal for you, and you can say use my discharge normal, and so then the MTs will pull that in instead of this. But this is what the discharge document looks like. This is what the medical progress note looks like. This is it. This is what it looks like. And I'll send it to Anita so she can have these things in front of you, so that way you can dictate what needs to be dictated. This is the AIMS. So the AIMS is kind of a form, and so you'll tell the MT 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it should be, and they'll place an X in that particular area. And let's see. And then this is the consult. That's all. This is all that there is to the consult. And this is the psych eval. These are the things that are in the psych eval. And from the mobile app, you won't see any of this, unfortunately, because the mobile app is blank. So, so that is a problem. Only one of these things that's not blank is the console. It is not blank. So what you see here for the console is this is the history and physical. But what you saw in the console, which is only 3 things, you'll see that, but you won't see all this other stuff for all these other because we were told that each one of you will have your own information that's going to go into it. But it's there, and I will provide it to both Anita and to Christy. So both ladies will have what your documents look like. Okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, everybody. And if the administrative staff can stay on, I'd appreciate it.
Thank you.
Christy is on or not, Anita?
I'm Christy here.
Okay, and so
I'm here.
Okay, great. Well, I wanted to go over, some of these things, but really, what I want you to tell, I wanted you all to have a discussion with Judy and Patty regarding your documents. I need to show you, so I will send you all these different work types, so that you'll have it in your hands. I'll send you that, but also I need you to see Dr. Williams sent in, what he want his normal information to look like. So I want you to see it. Okay. So here's your psych eval. What I want you to see, first off, is that, well, your psych eval has all the information in it because Dr. Williams didn't give a normal, so it's just there. So all this, everything that you see here, that you're going to see in that form, that's what the MT will receive. They're going to get it. And as you can see, the patient demographic information will fill in to the MT automatically, but the MT still needs to have the doctor dictate that information so that they can confirm it. But some of your other work types don't have anything in it, and the reason for that is that Dr. Williams sent some normals, and so I want you to see the normals that he sent. So as you can see, the MTs will have what's called blank work type 6, blank work type 5. They'll be able to see this, and so that way they will pull those work types into the report. They will pull those in if the doctor doesn't have a normal. But Dr. Williams has his own discharge summary, his own progress note, and so I'm assuming that whoever is dictating for Dr. Williams the discharge summary will use his normal discharge summary. So I'll let you
Now,
see
Dr. Williams excuse me, but Dr. Williams is not on the staff here. He won't be dictating at Laurel Oaks unless something changes in the future. Um, I'm thinking that maybe he was just putting those in for the other doctors to use. I don't know. I also don't see any of Dr. Pfeiffer's normals
Yeah, we only have
that I
one
sent in.
Dr. Pfeiffer, and that's this.
Mm,
Dr. Pfeiffer, history and physical.
okay, because he does have other normals, so um, I'll resend those again, and maybe you can go ahead and incorporate those in there because he would probably want to still use his progress notes and different things like that that he already has built.
Okay, all right. And this is what Dr. Williams, I think, sent for himself. You know, as one of his, I forget what this is. I think this is a history and physical, but this is what he sent in for himself. I don't know if this is for everybody to use or who it's for, but he sent in his, and but I only have his. I don't, the ones
Okay.
that I think are his. And so if there's anybody else other than Dr. Pfeiffer, this one, and I have Dr. Strunk, I have his history and physical. So I got Dr. Pfeiffer's history and physical and Dr. Strunk's history and physical.
Can you click on
and
Dr.
no one else.
Strunk's and let me see what Dr. Strunk says on his history physical. Okay. Scroll down. Keep going. All right, that's actually his history psych or his psychiatric eval, his normal for psychiatric eval.
So this is not a history and physical thing.
No.
This is
No, this is his psych eval normal.
good thing you saw it. Yeah. Okay. So we changed the name of that particular thing. So that's what's there. And so, Judy, do you want to talk? Who am I speaking to right now?
It's Anita.
Anita.
And
So,
Chris.
Judy, did you want to talk to them now, or do you want to have a call later on?
I'll probably have a call later on if we have any questions. I do have a question. Do we have any normals for Dr. Cotter? I know at one
We do
point.
not.
Okay,
Her
so we're
last
just gonna.
her last day here will be the 11th, I think. So we don't have a normal for her.
Okay. That was the only question I had on the account specs that I was writing.
Yeah.
Everyone else, so everyone else will just have their own template. We leave the information as is. If they want it edited, the MT will edit it. Other than that, I really don't have any questions. As far as templates go.
Once I get the templates and see what they are, we may have to make some changes. I noticed I put a message in that Brandy doesn't have to, is not required to sign the discharge summary.
That was my question.
Yeah, she is not required. She is simply the dictator, and then the doctor reviews it and signs off on it. And I will want to look at that discharge summary and see what all the template and see what all is included because we have an extensive discharge summary that corporate office requires certain things on there, and I'm not sure that it got sent through that way.
Okay, so just to review,
I don't see it listed on your list of, e-sign notes. There's a discharge progress note, but that is not the discharge summary.
Right.
Yeah.
And
that's why I'm saying I don't think you have it.
A discharge summary. I only received that discharge progress note.
Yeah, that was Dr. Williams saying that won't do as the discharge summary. So I'll have to send you another template for the discharge summary if you don't have it.
Yeah, I don't have it. And then so I don't have to worry about the dual e-sign discharge summary, just a regular discharge summary.
Mhm.
But the dual, we do have to worry about a dual e-sign history and physical. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
And That discharge progress note, I would assume, has to be a dual signature also. If the a nurse practitioner does it, then the doctor will have to sign off on it.
Wait a minute. So you're saying we do need this one because I
Yes,
had it.
yeah, we do need the discharge progress note because that's one of the things that he wants, that Dr. Williams wants them to have. They have a daily progress note and a medical progress note and a discharge progress note. And they may even have an admission progress note. I don't know. I think they do. I'll look for that and see if they do. But then we also, besides the discharge progress note, have to have the discharge summary.
Okay. Yeah. If you could send
That's
me
a
those.
joint commission requirement.
Yeah. If you could
Can't
send me
get
that
out of that.
information, if you can send me that, I'd appreciate it.
All right, I will.
All right. Okay.
And if if once we get into this, after I talk with either Patty or Judy, we can always ask for things to be tweaked a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good deal.
Okay.
All right. So then here is the way that you would log in. So you'll have your own login. So each administrative staff member will have their own personal login. Have your own personal thing.
Mhm.
So when you log in again, just like with the doctors, it's really no difference. You'll see jobs are in the ready queue. And when it's in ready, that simply means that the doctor has dictated it, but no one is transcribing it yet. Anything that is being transcribed will be here, where it says jobs and transcription. And that then you'll look at this and you'll see that somebody's transcribing it. Jobs in QA are jobs that are being handled by the QA department. You'll never have anything in facility review, but you can have something in the auditor review if you send it back to the MT for some changes to be made. The
Okay.
e-sign you'll see reports that are waiting to be electronically signed by the doctors. And the jobs in pending queue, that's just a total of all these jobs in ready, transcription, QA, and e-sign off. That's that total because that's how many jobs are pending. But if you want to go to any one of these things to see what's there, you just click on the box. And then when you click on the box, it'll take you to it. And so then you can see the job number, and you can see the what else can we see here? So you can see the job number and the doctor's name, and you can see if it's stat, and you can see the turnaround. So if the turnaround is negative, that means that we're out of turnaround. But hopefully you won't see much negative. But you'll be able to see the work type was completed. That's the date that the doctor dictated the report. Description, you won't see description. You won't see this column. This is really just for me. But you'll see the status, the report, and status. If you're in the ready queue, it's just work that's ready. It's not ready. It hasn't been transcribed. It's ready to be transcribed, but it hasn't been transcribed yet. And so you won't even see any names here. You won't see any names, any medical record numbers. You won't see anything. Nothing.
Okay.
But you will see the date that it was, how long the report is. You'll see that, and that's what you'll see. And so to get back to the beginning, you click on dashboard, and that'll bring you back here. And then in job.
You blanked out on me.
Hello?
Hey, you blanked out on me there.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. All right, so let me go back to the dashboard. In Ready, let's say that there is a patient that you're looking for. So you have the patient's medical record number. You have the patient's medical record number, but you can't find that patient's name or anything. So you can always come up here. You see where it says Show Search Panel?
Mhm.
You'll click on that, and then you'll come down here and you will select description. Now you won't see the column description. Maybe I will put it in there for you. I'll put it in there. Description, that's the number that the doctor keyed in. So if you are in the ready queue, the MT haven't started to work on it, and so you won't see a medical record number or anything. So if you're looking for something that is you're waiting to see if the doctor dictated it or not, you will come to the ready queue, and then you will select description, and then you'll put in the patient's medical record number. So I'm going to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to do that, and then you click on apply filter. And so then what will happen is that everything that was dictated on that patient will come up so that you can see if the doctor dictated on that patient or not. And so here it is all ready.
Okay.
But at least you can see who dictated it and what's the job number and how soon can it be turned around. You'll see when the date they dictated it, and again, description shows you the number that the doctor entered in when he was dictating that report.
Okay.
And that's why when jobs are in the ready queue, you have to use description to find it.
Okay.
And if you come to the queue jobs in QA queue, however, I'm going to come down a little bit here, so we can see the slider. If you'll be able to see the patient's names at that point. And so if you want to see if a job is if it's in QA, you can come here and then you can just type in McDonald's, because I love McDonald's. It should have pulled it up. Oh, I put it. So I came down and I'll put in patient name, and then I'll put in McDonald, and I'll apply the filter, and there you go. Here's all. So it's a lot of McDonald's stuff sitting out there, and it's in QA, and QA is late too. So if it's gray, it's out of turnaround time. So if it's green, it's good. If it's gold, it's about to lose turnaround time. And so Patty and Judy, they're always looking at that. A red check mark in the stat means that it's a stat report. All psych evals are automatically stat reports. The doctor don't have to make it a stat report. It is a stat report. So that's
right.
the thing. If you don't want to have to go through all the different queues like we're doing right now, you don't want to go through the queues, you can click here. You see where it says workflow?
Mhm.
You can click there, and then you can go to admin queue. And when you go to admin queue, that shows everything, all work that is completed, work that is in transcription, work that is in ready queue, is everything. See?
Yeah.
You
How
can
long
search
does
for a
that
job
stay?
number. What's
Yeah.
that
How long
again?
does that stay on there
How long does
so
what
that we
stay?
can view it? In the workflow and the admin queue, if all of this is work to be done, work that's completed, how long does the work completed still show up?
So you'll see 15 days worth of work completed.
15 days. Okay.
15,
That's good.
right? If you want to see more, then you have to come up here. You have to click on Show Search Panel, and then you go to Date Completed, and then you can extend out. You can do a custom range, or you can pick one of these choices that you had. But
Okay.
but for the most part, if you're looking for something that should have been completed, it'll be better to search it from the completed queue.
Gotcha. Okay.
But again, in the admin queue, completed work is only 15 days worth of that sits in this queue. The rest of the work that sits in this queue is work that's either ready, in e-sign off pending status, or in QA. The work that's in QA.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, not right now. Might have
Okay.
some when I get into it.
Something I want to bring up at this point, making jobs a stat. So when the dictators call in, if they make a job a stat, that's fine. If you need to go in, if you find a report, say a progress note that you need quickly, that it has been on the system because there's a 12-hour turnaround time and it's sitting at like 7 hours. If you go in and make that stat, it's going to adjust the turnaround time and it could very well pull it into negative TAT at that point because it sort of does the math on it and it says, oh, a stat is 6 hours. This has been sitting here for 7. Now we have, that difference in that turnaround. So instead of you making a job stat on the system after it's been dictated, if you could just email me and Judy, we can get someone on that report quicker than you even making it stat. We can hand assign it and get somebody on it right then so that it can get completed for you.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Hmm.
But then Patty, she's gonna tell you, don't be sending her emails every hour. No, I'm teasing. I'm messing.
I always get emails every hour.
But okay, so e-sign off queue. There's really not much you can do about this because all you can do is wait until the doctor signs off the report. There is
Oh
absolutely
yeah.
nothing you can do.
Oh yes, I can. I can email him and say, "Hey, I need these reports you got on e-sign. Sign them, please."
Sign that thing, will you please, so I can get to it.
Yeah.
And then we do have the completed queue, and so from the completed queue, you can edit a report from the completed queue, and so again, as you can see, you don't when you look at the completed queue, it shows you 164 jobs, but when you come in here, is you only see 3, and that again, that's just a 15-day history. If you want to see more, I can always come here to date dictated, and I can say over the last 30 days and apply the filter, and I only see 3. But I would see more if there was anything in here. But this is like a test site, and so that's what we see. But let's say that what you want to do is you just want to look at the report. Well, you would put a check mark by that job, and then you see this thing right here. It is an icon next to the printer, and it has that little things like a magnifying glass. And
Mhm.
when you touch it, it says View Document. Well, if you'll click on that, it will open it up in another tab, in a brand new tab. And you can read the report. You see, it allows you to
Mhm.
read the report, and then you can see that it was signed off and all that other stuff. You can see it, and so and that's what you see here. And now you can't make any changes in this because this is a PDF, but that's what you see. Uh, but let's say that you do want to edit that report. You want to edit it. You'll place a check mark by it, and then you see this one that's next to that magnifying glass, like a piece of paper with a pencil in it. And when you roll your mouse across, you'll see it says Edit Document.
Gotcha.
So you'll click on that, and then it will open the report up, so that you can go in and edit the report. You can also play it, so you can listen to it even as you edit the report. You can play it, and then you can come in and you can make whatever changes that you want to make to the report. And then when you're all done making your changes, you click on Save Document. Save Document. And so then that will save it. And then you can come back and you can print it out if you want to. And if you'll look, I'm going to just view it. You'll see that the changes that I made, there it is, no medications. Let's say, so I'm going to close this tab up here at the top. Let's say I want to change the name of the patient. So I'll come here to edit it. And hopefully I have a patient named Olive Oil because I used to watch Popeye when I was a child. Show you how old I am. But if you want to change the name of the patient, you'll come up here where it says Actions. And then you'll see something that says ADT feed. Do you see that?
Yes.
You'll click on that, and then it'll bring this a screen that looks like this up. And so if you want to, you can search for the patient. You can search for the patient.
Uh-oh, I lost you again. Hello?
There?
I lost
See?
you again.
Man, I don't know what's happening. I don't know why it's going in and out. But
went out again.
Judy, Patty, can you all hear me? Am I going out?
Yeah, you're going out. It's
Yeah, you're
it's
going
it's
out.
like little glitches.
All right, that's got to be the internet. All right, I'll try to talk loud. Maybe I won't go out then. But anyway, so I put in Olive, and now I'm gonna search for Olive. You should be. You know what it is? Let me come over here. All right. So now I'm gonna tell it to apply the filter. Is it? I guess there's not an Olive. All right. So let me just find another name. All right. So I'm gonna use Humpty Dumpty. So I see Humpty Dumpty, and I'm going to click on this little blue thing that says Select ADT. So I'm going to double click on that, and this thing will go around. And now I can click on. I go down here to the bottom, and I'll say Accept. And then it say, do you really want to do that? Yes. And so then what happens is that now Humpty Dumpty should show up as the patient's name, and there it is. So I've changed the patient from Ronald McDonald to Humpty Dumpty.
Okay.
And so that's how you change the name. Again, you go to Actions, you choose ADT, and then once the ADT thing comes up, you pick Search for Records. And then after you place Search for Records, type in the medical record number of whatever you're looking for, and then you click on Apply to Filter, and then it'll pull up all the different names that apply. When you find the one that you want to use, you just double click on the blue thing, and then it'll rotate a little bit, and then you click on Apply. You'll see Apply.
Gotcha.
Accept. I mean the word accept. You'll see Accept ADT, and then you just click on that. Let's say that the patient's name is all good. It's just one thing that's missing out of it, such as maybe the date of birth is missing. Well, you can click on Edit ADT feed. You see that where it says Edit? You can click on that, and then you can put in the patient's date of birth. So we'll say July 25th, 1918. So that's it, and I just click on Accept ADT and say yes, and now we have that patient's correct date of birth that's in there. So you can do a lot with the ADT. You can make the changes that you want and do the things that you want to do with it. And when you're all done, you just say Save Document. And I want to show you this is that if you were searching for this document, if you were searching for it, you initially you would have seen the patient's name as Ronald McDonald, but now we've made a change, and so now if you search for Humpty Dumpty, you'll find Humpty Dumpty.
Gotcha.
So that's why it's important to make the change by going up to that ADT thing, because if you had made the change within the document, on the outside it would still say Ronald McDonald and not Humpty Dumpty.
Okay.
All right. Any questions about that?
No, I think that's pretty
Mr.
straightforward.
Dunn,
Yes.
I actually don't have any questions about that, but I actually don't think most of this from this point forward pertains to me. But I do need to get all of the instructions with each of the providers' IDs and all of that. Would that be something you would be able to email me today?
You know, I thought I sent that spreadsheet to you all last week, but apparently you didn't receive it.
Now I did receive today some instructions, but I haven't received the instructions for the app nor each individual provider's information and their login and all of that information. I haven't received any of that.
All right, so I will be sending you a spreadsheet. Let's see. And so this is a spreadsheet that you'll see, and I'll have the doctor's name, and the email address is actually the doctor's username.
Okay.
And then you'll see the password, and then you'll see the doctor's dictator ID number.
Okay.
You'll see that. Also, so then it breaks down again. You know, if you came here, you could see just the doctor's information and not anybody else's. And
Okay.
or if you came here to group leaders, you'll see all the administrative staff. Now there are some administrative people, I guess, that we don't have information on. That I'll need their names and all, because these are the only administrative people that we have in the system right now.
Okay. Well, if there is anyone that I'm missing, I will get that information for you and let you know. Would you just need their email address, or what all would you need from them?
I just need their names and their email address. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So if there
All right,
is anyone missing, I'll let you know.
Okay, because their email address is actually their usernames.
Okay.
All right. So I'll send this list back over to you, and because it has everything, all the information that you want, and the first page of it has everybody's name, and then you'll have just the doctors, and then just the group leaders, and the group leaders are
Okay.
really administrative staff members.
Okay. Now, will this also include the information directions for their app and logging in on their app on their phone?
So to log into the app, the username and the password is how they log into the app.
Okay.
Whatever you see here is what they use. Now, group leaders can't log into the app. It won't work for group leaders. So the app only works for dictators.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I didn't know if Dr. Williams I showed him the information that we received and the instructions, and he didn't know if there were separate instructions for the app. So I just want to make sure that we got those as well.
Okay. I'll send you this, and I'll send you the instructions that show how to use the app, so your doctors can use the app.
That sounds good. Thank you so very much.
All righty. All righty. I'll send that out.
All right. Have a great evening.
All right. You too.
Bye-bye.
So Anita, let me show you another thing. So you're not like, I know your head is about to explode, but I'll just show you one more thing, Anita, and then let's plan to get back together, you and me, get back together so I can show you a lot more. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
All
So
right.
I want to show you. Let's say that you want to print out reports. You'll have something up here that says it'll say Laurel Oaks printed reports. And the reason why that's important is that it will have a thing called print status. And print status, if you see a red check mark, that means these are jobs that have printed off. If there is no check mark by it, then the job didn't print off. So let me just select about 3 reports. So I selected 3 reports to print off. And so you'll click here on printer, print documents. And then what you need to make sure you do is that you click here where it says update print status. You see that?
Yes.
And then you'll click on print. And then what will happen is that all the reports, all 3 of them, are going to show up, as one big old thing, in this new tab. And so all you have to do is that for UHS, if you have to roll the mouse across the bottom, and then you'll see the little printer thing, down here at the bottom, and then you can click on the printer. Or you might see a printer right up here in the corner. It looks like a little printer icon right there. Whatever you need to do, you just click on print, and then that will print out the documents, so you pick your printer and everything, and you can print out the document. And then when you come back out, if you'll click on this little refresh thing, so now you have the 3 check marks.
Gotcha.
And that's how you know that you printed out the reports. Right now, UHS still has not restored our ability to automatically print to you all. We are waiting on them to do that. They haven't done it yet.
Okay. I'll get with Jeremy and see if I can beat him up.
Yeah, he's aware of it because he reached out to Joshua Anderson over at the corporate office, and Joshua told him what the problem was. So Jeremy is aware of it, and Joshua told him that he'll get back with him as soon as he has some more information for him. But it has something to do, and because the corporate office got hit by the ransomware, instead of having all information.
It clicked out again.
My microphone.
There you go. Now you're back.
It's my microphone. I'm going to have to get a new microphone. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I spoke to Jeremy, and he's aware of it. What happened is that UHS created a virtual environment, because that's the best way to keep hackers out, is by creating virtual environments and giving permissions. So they created a virtual environment, but we connect to UHS through what's called a virtual private network, VPN. But they haven't figured out how to give people that come in through a VPN limited access to the virtual environment. And so they're working through that whole thing. And so right now, we're not able to connect to the network printers.
Okay. So basically, we'll just have a lot of reports to print out when we get access.
Manually, you'll have some report. You can print them out now. Once the doctors dictate and they go into the completed queue. That's why I want you to know that it's good to come to that save search thing, and then you'll see save search, and then just
go ahead and click on them.
It has a red check mark. You printed it, and anything without it, you haven't printed yet. That way you'll know, because see, what happens is that some doctors sign out their reports immediately, and then others don't, and so you'll have work that's pretty old, but it just got signed off, and so if you don't see a red check mark by it, that lets you know it never got printed off.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so that's how you print off reports. Again, what we'll do is I'll get back with you probably next week, so that we can go over a lot more, because you can edit reports that are in e-sign-off queue. You can edit it, and I do want to show you how to send work back to the QA department. So let's say that you go into this report and you went in and it's just totally messed up, and so you want our QA department to do something about it. You put a check mark by the job, and then you come to actions, and you'll come down here. You see where it says return to MT?
Yes.
So you'll click on return to MT, and then you'll tell the MT this what the problem. You tell them whatever the problem is. You know, you tell them what the problem is, and then you say yes. When you do that, then it'll go back to the QA. So now if you look at the dashboard, if you look, jobs for auditor should now say 1. There it is. And when it's in the auditor queue, that means that's a job that you sent back to QA to fix.
Okay.
All right. I have instructions that show how to do all this stuff. So you're going to get a huge file from me, and it's going to come from WeTransfer. WeTransfer. And it has all the manuals and everything that'll help you know how to do things.
All right.
And each one of those little manuals is broken down, you know, into small bits. And so one will say how to print, and the next one will say how to search, you know, and so it's little bitty pieces. And so you'll see those different things. And so it's a lot of manuals, but they're broken down to small things, small events, so that you don't have to go through a whole big old book.
Gotcha.
All right. Do you have any questions for me, Patty or Judy?
No, not today.
All right. I know you're going to have a lot come tomorrow.
Yeah, we might.
Yeah, but feel free to give us a call, and I'll send to you and to Dr. Williams and to Christy the information that each one of you all need.
Okay. Now, who do I send? Is it to Stephanie? If I want to add other members of my staff to have capabilities of going in and, you know, printing and things like that.
You can send it to all three of us, me, Judy, and Patty, and
Okay.
we'll get
So
them
three.
added.
All right. Very good.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
That sounds
you
good.
so much.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Have a good day.
All right.
You too. Bye.
Bye.